Most of the time, I know I'm where I should be.
How did you become governor? Do your people elect leaders by popular vote?
If by vote you mean argue loudly until one candidate remains, then yes. I got here because I was willing to endure and fight for the obligations that come with my office.
I sense tension between your government and the resistance. Who's actually in charge?
Ephra likes giving orders, right until the actual work of running a city starts. The resistance is good at protecting us from the Ket, but our people need more. I've learned to indulge Ephra's need for control, just often enough to maintain my own.
Is there time in your busy schedule to meet someone special?
Everyone is special to me, in their own way.
Not what I meant.
Oh, no, that isn't a priority right now. Someday, maybe.
I'm hoping you can help me get on Ephra's good side.
If I knew how to do that, my job would be much simpler.
Sometimes it seems like you two don't get along at all, and other times...
He's a brilliant tactician and inspiring leader. We just disagree on what's best for our people. He believes secrecy and isolation keep us safe.
What do you believe?
We can't defeat the Ket alone, and neither can your initiative.
I have a few questions about your culture.
I'm happy to answer them.
Don't take this the wrong way, but this isn't your only city, right?
Not at all. Vold and Havarl both have several large population centers. Aya has numerous residential areas similar to this.
Are these places open for visitors?
In time, perhaps.
I've noticed that you, Ephra, and Jal all speak with different accents.
When the Scourge first struck, there were many Angaran worlds. They were separated for centuries. We developed divergent cultures and dialects. Ephra was born on Vold, and Jal is from Havarl.
What about you?
The Ket left my homeworld in ruins. Those who survived were forced to flee. We found a refuge on Aya. My family helped settle this world.
Aya seems important to the Angara.
Aya is paradise. This world is a gift. We created the Vassals so everyone could enjoy this place, if only for a short time.
The Vassal?
The time of change. Aya's resources are too limited for our entire population to live here. We each earn the privilege of spending a few years on Aya. When our time is up, we leave to make room for someone new. The cycle repeats throughout our lives.
Will you have to leave?
Someday. For now, Aya needs me.
Aya seems important to the Angara.
Aya is paradise.
I heard...
Someday. For now, Aya needs me.
Your people revere the Moshai. What did she do to earn that?
After the Scourge, our civilization was in ruins. Those who led the rebuilding were thinkers, experts, and inventors. The Moshai is the greatest scientific mind of our generation. She led us to a new age of technological innovation. When the Ket attacked, she studied their technology, learned their tactics.
You owe your survival to her.
We owe her everything, and we'll do anything to protect her.
Why didn't you tell me about Kadara Port when I first arrived?
I assumed you already knew. We didn't realize there was a difference between your exiles and the Initiative.
Fair enough.
As for Ven Terev, Ephra hid his betrayal from everyone. He'll answer for that.
Thanks for your time.
Ishare, Pathfinder.
I found Kiloa seeds for Eos. Is this enough?
It's perfect. I'll make sure Eos gets them.
Here, I have the antibiotics for Kadara. Will the settlers be okay?
Once they have these, they'll be fine. I'll make sure they know who to thank.
Use the nav point. Find Keldo and the supplies. I'll be here.
Ambassador Realis said you're thinking of moving to the Nexus.
Pathfinder. I'm honored even to be considered for the transfer. But I won't be happy as just an observer. I need to work. I engineer power systems. Will I be allowed employment alongside your people?
That's the whole point of this exchange. The Nexus needs people like you.
That's all I needed to hear. I'll have your ambassador start the transfer. Thank you.
Invest in your personal protection.
You're one of Ambassador Realis' candidates to live on the Nexus.
I am. Glad you finally showed up. Let's get down to it. I've lived my whole life wanting to meet aliens who didn't want me dead. But my family's here. How can I stay in touch with them from the Nexus?
You can send messages, talk to them on the comm. We'll even arrange a visit.
You get it. All right. I'm in.
I'm not selling to aliens.
Pathfinder, Ambassador Riala didn't think you'd have time for me.
She said you needed to talk before agreeing to live on the Nexus.
This is the opportunity of a lifetime. I'm an anthropologist, but I've only ever studied my own people. I've heard the Nexus is home to multiple species and cultures. It will be fascinating and possibly dangerous. Bacteria, viruses, other contaminants. My family worries about me. Are you sure I'll be safe?
They wouldn't let me on Aya if I was a walking petri dish, would they?
You aren't taking this seriously enough to satisfy my family. I can't go without their blessing. I'm sorry.
I can't work under these conditions. What does it take to be left alone?
He's off. I'm here to help. You reported that someone in the Resistance threatened you. Tell me exactly what happened.
I didn't know Riala was sending the Pathfinder. I deserve no less, of course. I was measuring the photonic dispersal from the canopies when some random brute interrupted me. I asked him to move, and he got nasty. Said it was my fault his friend was dead. Ridiculous.
That's a weird thing to say. How'd he threaten you?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it was the big gun he was carrying? He got right up in my face and compared me to a cat. He wanted to kill me. I could see it in his eyes. The whole conversation made no sense. I think he was inebriated.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but dial it down. We're guests here.
Exactly. We shouldn't have to put up with this. When he left, I tagged him with infrared dye from my sample kit. Invisible to the naked eye, but not to a scanner.
I'll scan people around the Resistance headquarters, see if I find him.
You're supposed to represent our interests on Aya. Go, represent. I have work to do.
I detect the infrared dye Sorvis Len used to mark the person who threatened him.
You did good in that last fight.
That's our man.
It took humanity 8 years to get a Citadel embassy back home. Pretty impressive to get one here so fast.
All it took was handling some remnant.
It'll take more to keep this partnership going. Ambassador Riala will handle the embassy. Lets us focus on everything else.
I know why you're here. The botanist. You want an apology for what I said to him.
I only have one side of the story. Tell me yours.
It's hard to explain.
Try me?
Aya isn't big enough to give everyone a home. We each live here a short time and then move on. For someone to come, another must go. The exchanges are chosen at random. We call this arrangement the Vassal. Time of change. It worked well, until now.
You lost someone you cared about. Was it because of the Vassal?
That's one way to see it. When our leaders agreed to make a place for your people here, it came with a cost. My friend won a place on Aya, but he sold that slot so one of you could stay here instead.
Sold it how? What did he get?
Comforts for his family, resources to improve their home on Haval. He always put others before himself. That's how he died, fighting Ket on Vold. When I found out, I was angry. Said things to your botanist I shouldn't have, but I'd never hurt your people.
I believe you, and I'm sorry for your loss. Between us, that botanist is kind of a jerk.
He didn't fear my anger. I respect that.
I'll talk to our ambassador, see if we can minimize our impact on your Vassal.
We don't expect things to be easy. Only that you understand, nothing is free for us.